Warning: the following podcast, which contains strong language and mature content, is unsuitable for children or for the faint of heart. The subject matter discussed will be frightening and graphic in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
When you wanna hear about the paranormal, you get the Spooked Girls. True crime that makes you hypothermal. With the three Spooked Girls, stabby snippets will give you dreams. Tara and Jessica will make you along with the Spooked Girls. Bring on the slaughter. We on that haunted ground. Spooked Girls. The three Spooked Girls.
Hey Spooksters, and welcome back to another episode here on Three Spooked Girls. My name is Tara, and as always, I'm here with my girlfriend Jessica.
Hello.
Hello. This week, we are back with another Urban Legends episode. I am so excited. I did not go to the thread in the group this time. I was just like, let me think of a state. Let me just think of a state. And as you guys can see by the title, I chose Nebraska. Why? I don't know, because my brain told me to. So I will say we do have quite the variety of urban legends and whatnot with this. So I'm excited. But before we get into that, if you are new here, hello, welcome. Thank you for checking out the show. Returning Spooksters, welcome back. If you are not hanging out with us on social media, first of all, why? Why do you hate us? But I know you don't. I know you love us. So go follow us everywhere.
Yeah. Why do you hate us?
I'm in a mood, guys. This is episode 2 of 3 we're recording in one sitting. You guys know we batch record. So You're welcome for Tara's fuckery today. It's how I'm coping with the real horrors of life. But it's fine. It's okay. So anyway, if you're not hanging out with us on social media, you can find us on all the places. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, everywhere. Our handle is at 3 Spooked Girls. We're really trying to build up our Instagram. We are inching towards 10K. So if you are not, please go follow us over there. We mentioned last week, I believe it was, we are kind of making a little bit more effort on the social media game aspect. I'm trying to get back into my short form content era. And of course, a lot of that applies for you guys. So definitely check it out. We have a YouTube channel. Video episodes will be coming back in the fall. So stay tuned. Go subscribe. We'd love to have you over there. And if you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/3 Spooked Girls. For as little as $1, you get a bonus episode a month. 5 and up get ad-free episodes released the day before. And they also are getting, which we are wrapping up here, we're almost done. We have been recapping Gypsy Rose's life after lockup each week. So if you'd like more content of us, you can do so there. And also, if you would like more content on us, but free, go check out Social Seance Society. We mentioned we're going to do a Twilight deep dive, but we literally just finished recording, and it also would have came out the day before this, our monthly hot topics and our monthly faves. So always a good time. Absolutely check it out. We would love to have you guys tune in over there as well. So much fun. And if you are a reader, we do have a book club. We have Spookster Literary Society. We're on the book clubs app. Again, everything is in the link tree. We do monthly virtual meetings. There's discussion threads, all kinds of fun stuff. We have a theme of summer slashers kind of across the brand next month with Social Seance Society and book club. So if you want to celebrate some summer with us, go check out what we're going to be reading and come hang out with us. We would love to have you. We have passed 300 members over there, and that's fucking amazing. Love it. So great. Definitely come join us for that. So Jess and I can continue to, yap about books with you guys because, they are live meetings and everything. So super fun. It's in our Discord. But that's really all I got. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. Like I said, we have quite the array of stories and not entities necessarily. I don't know if this first thing's a cryptid, but I'll just tell you. So the first one is called Mutant Radioactive Hornets.
The fuck?
Mm-hmm. So, following the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster, plenty of urban legends popped up regarding radiation-related horrors reaching the mainland U.S. In 2013, a rumor arose that giant Asian wasps had made their way to central Nebraska. As the legend goes, the radioactive hornets have been exposed to radiation. Oh my God, take a drink every time I say radiation in this paragraph. I didn't even realize till right now.
Super drunk. Super drunk.
Anyway, they were exposed to radiation and grew to 4 times their normal size. Fucking terrifying. Fucking terrifying. They were said to be extremely aggressive and to have venom 2,000 times stronger than their non-mutated cousins.
I would be angry too.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
If I was a mutant, I'd be very angry. Like if I was like this big and then all of a sudden I was like this big, I'd be very mad.
Bro, you don't even have to have any like venom. You would scare the shit out of me. Like normal hornets scare me. I don't like them.
Right?
Although the Asian hornet is very large and produces venom strong enough to kill a human after repeated stings, they did not gain these attributes from radiation exposure. Moreover, no Asian hornets have ever been spotted in Nebraska, and they certainly haven't killed anyone here. Okay, I want to know who on Reddit started that rumor then, because that's where that came from.
Yeah, I just looked up what a normal Asian hornet looks like. It's like as big as somebody's fucking hand.
Yeah,
like the palm of their hand.
Yeah, they had a picture in the article and it was like so scary. I mean, I live in Oklahoma and we got bugs galore.
It's true.
I get normal wasps and shit that I literally had to go run around and spray. And if you know me in real life, I'm not like outdoorsy at all. I'm not handy at all. So the fact that I handled that like a boss ass bitch all by myself, like I fucking win. But
Yes,
I was traumatized.
Get it. Also, they can fly up to 25 miles an hour. Did you know that? That's what Google said. Fuck that shit. A mutant probably could fly faster.
Well, actually, I would hope because they're bigger, maybe they would be slower, but probably not. If they're mutants, they would probably
if they're
be
radiated,
faster.
like they go faster.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that was debunked from my source. Thank you. Okay. Moving on from that drama. The next one is The Legend of Blackbird Hill. The Blackbird Hill legend is a heart-wrenching story of lost love. It started with a young couple who were deeply in love. The young man was to travel abroad for a short period of time before returning to marry his young lady. However, he was shipwrecked during his journey and took nearly 5 years to make his way back to America.
What?
I thought you were going to start singing.
It kind of sounded like I was gonna. Sorry, guys.
I'm like, are we turning this into a Titanic moment? Because that's what I thought.
Once more. Sorry. He was shipwrecked.
Yeah, exactly. That's why my brain went there.
On point. I
I'm
accidentally on point. Good job, Jessica.
Oh my God, I'm dead. I am so dead. I'm laughing so hard my face is like hot now. I love this. By that time, the young lady had given him up for dead and married a Nebraska pioneer. The couple set up their home on Blackbird Hill, the burial place of honored Omaha chief Blackbird. One day, a man walked up the path towards their home. The woman went outside to greet the visitor and was shocked to see her former love. The man was dumbfounded. He had been heading west for California when he noticed the interesting hill and wanted to get a closer look. The two confessed their undying love for one another and vowed to be together again. Okay, I have to stop right now. And I'm like, okay, if homie was about to go to California, did he really have this undying love? Or did he see this ex-lover and be like, ooh, she's obsessed with me and I guess she's hot. So I'm going to just say I have this undying love too.
Sounds like at the beginning of the story, the vibe was he came back for her. But now we're finding out he was on his way out of town and was like, look at that house. I should go check it out because it's new to me. Mm-hmm. I go look at it. Oh, it's the girl I left when I got shipwrecked and didn't marry before I left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had to wait till I came back and now I'm going to fuck her shit up. Talk about a toxic ex.
Toxic cycles. We don't do that around here, partner. Fuck no. So the wife planned to explain the situation to her husband that evening and ask him to release her from the marriage. Her love.
That's not how marriage works.
I mean, she wanted to get divorced to go with her apparent true
Oh,
love.
that's true. It was the word release that was weird for me.
I mean, this is probably like before divorce existed. I don't know when divorce like became a thing, but you know.
I think it was.
Anyway.
I feel like back in the day, you could just like run out like before we had like tracking systems for people, you know, and I mean that being like you go and register someplace and you like, this is where I live, that kind of tracking, not like we've injected people. I don't want that conspiracy theory to start here. But before we had like ways of like censuses and things like that, I mean, we had those, but like people could just like up and move. Also just change your name. Like we were talking the other day at lunch about how like go back like the 1950s and before, how many men had like multiple families because they would just like change their name or not even change their name and then just like have two families in two locations but travel for work. Like that was kind of a thing. She could have just ran off and changed her name. Just saying. She didn't need permission. Sure. She could have just been like, I left, and then he would have been like, a bear ate my wife. I don't know. Are there bears in Nebraska? I don't know.
I would assume. Yeah, probably. I'm sure someone's in the comments yelling at us, but it's fine. Thank you. You know what? Okay. I don't know why this came out of nowhere, but like all of a sudden now people are commenting on like Spotify, and I love it. I love going to read the comments. Sometimes I have no idea what they're replying to because they're older episodes, but like somebody, when we were like, why the fuck is there so many bridges in the last Urban Legends episode? People were like, oh yeah, because there's like a fuck ton of like rivers and stuff. So.
I remember like, why are there so many rivers? Why are there so many bridges in this place?
Yeah, no, that was why. People nicely told us. And if you're listening to that and that was you, thank you. Anyway, so while she was doing that with her husband, her love hid outside and waited for her to join him on his journey. The husband, upon learning about his wife's affection for another man, flew into a jealous rage and attacked his wife with a knife.
He kind of had a reason to be angry, not murderous angry, but he had a reason to be angry.
Yeah, true. As she lay on the floor, bloody and screaming, her husband picked her up and carried her to the cliff at the top of Blackbird Hill. He leaped from the cliff into the river below, killing them both. The young lover could not reach the couple in time to stop the tragedy. A final anguished scream rose from the river as the woman perished. Legend has it that on October 17th of every year, the anniversary of this murder-suicide, the woman's terrified screams can still be heard echoing across the hill. Ooh, if anyone's went, I want to know.
If I lived in this area, I would host like an annual party, like an annual like thing. And like, it'd be really, because it's like already spooky season. Like you could have October 17th, you could do I don't know, some sort of, I don't want to say reenactment. That seems weird, but like you could do like some sort of festival.
Yeah, I know. I was like, in my brain, this is like, we'll just say it's like the 1800s or something. So like you could even make it into like a ball and like dress up and like this whole thing.
Ooh, I'm down for a ball. You know, I want a ball.
That's also on my brain because I'm finally doing my rewatch of Vampire Diaries, and I just watched the episode of the Founders Ball where like Caroline's dad's about to die, or he did die or whatever. And I was already like in my feels because life, and it made me cry. And I was just like, oh my God. This is so dramatic. And then that scene where fucking Stefan's like, and she's like, why don't you care? And he's like, if I care, it would just hurt too much. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love this. This is so dramatic.
I love Vampire Diaries.
So good. But moving away from vampires, the next one is the Salt Witch of the Nebraska Plains. In southeast Nebraska, a powerful Native American chief was well respected, but so surly that no one but his lovely wife could stand to be around him for too long. He loved her with a power greater than the earth and the sky, but when she died, he became a shell of his former self. He hid away in his lodge for so long that the tribe began discussing choosing another chief. One day, the chief emerged from his lodge in full war dress and left the tribe without a word. He returned a month later carrying a bundle of fresh scalps and a large lump of salt. The scalps proved that the chief was still as powerful as ever, though the salt came from a far more interesting story. The chief, as he slept one night, heard terrified screams nearby. he lifted his head to see a violent old crone holding a tomahawk over the head of a younger woman. As the woman struggled, the younger turned her face towards the chief, and he was astonished to see that it was his late wife. He ran towards the pair, reaching them just before the tomahawk struck the young woman's head. Instead, his own weapon was buried in the old woman's head.
What?
The chief reached for his wife, but the ground beneath the women suddenly opened and swallowed them both. In the aftermath, all that remained was a pillar of salt. Following this otherworldly experience, Native Americans gathering salt at the pillar pummeled the ground with the weapons to keep the witch away. Damn. I like these ones from Nebraska, by the way. I think they're really interesting. They're really different than what we've been doing lately, so I like it.
And they're more like, they're very complex. It's very like story driven. Like, I feel like Nebraskans have nothing else to do. And so they're not like, no, I'm not saying they have nothing else to do, but it's a very like agricultural state. So I can see where people are like, okay, if we're going to like have an urban legend, we should fucking like flesh it the fuck out. Like, it should be so well written that people are like, well, how could it not be true? There's so much detail. Like, they know the color of her hair and the freckles on her face and like what perfume she wore. Like, come on. These are so great.
Right. All right. Our next one is called The Legend of Rawhide Creek. An often repeated tale is the origin of Rawhide Creek's name. The creek, a tribute to the Elkhorn River in Douglas County, was the setting for a story of senseless violence and retribution. As some settlers were known to do in the frontier days, a young white man murdered an unsuspecting Native American girl simply because he had vowed to kill as many Native Americans as possible. Okay, so trash. Got it. The girl's family soon tracked down her murderer and confronted him along with the rest of his party. The tribe gave the men a choice: either give up the murderer or they would all be killed. As you would expect, the group quickly handed over the young man to meet his fate. As revenge for the senseless murder, the Native Americans beat and tortured the young man, finally skinning him on the banks of the creek. The creek thereafter was named for the grisly act.
I like that this group of people were like, yeah, we don't fuck with evil people. We're going to give you over. I love that. Rightfully so. Good job. Good job. Community. Community went. This is like one of those things where it's like sacrifice of one is good for the many. It's that moment.
Literally.
You go be accountable. We didn't do this. We were just here.
Okay, if anyone from Nebraska is listening and I say this wrong, please don't come for me. Thank you. I love you. Okay. The next one is Feebledson, Drought Buster Extraordinaire. And this is a Swedish name, so I'm probably saying it wrong, so please forgive me. So a Swedish immigrant named Feebledson. Okay, first of all, can I just interrupt myself before I start telling you about Feebledson? Like, who names their kid basically their last name twice? They just took the sun bar off.
It's like people who name their kid like Eric Erickson.
Yes, I am like, what is wrong with you?
They're just like, I couldn't think of a name for my child.
They just want their kid to get bullied. That's all.
Pretty much.
Okay. So Homie appears in several frontier tall tales. With a name like that, how could he not? One in particular tells of how he broke a terrible drought in one of the hottest, driest summers Nebraska has ever seen. The drought was so bad that Feebled had to resort to drastic measures. After a long think, I like how they said that. After a long think, he came with an outlandish idea. Build a giant bonfire to bring the rain. He made fires all around the banks of the lake. They burned so hot, allegedly, that the water in the lake all evaporated and lifted into the sky as rain clouds. Feebled got his rain, and the great drought was busted at last. That's playing with some fate, because that could have went a totally different way. Yeah,
I was like, you could have just burned down a whole community, sir.
Literally. Okay, so this next one is called Karma's a Bunny.
What?
It's like
Karma's a bunny. Karma's a bitch. But I was like, you started to say that, and I was like, and then you said bunny, and I was like, bunny.
Bunny. Okay. Not all Nebraska folktales come from pioneer times. In fact, this one is fairly recent, from the mid-20th century. The story goes that two bored farmers in their 60s decided to take a little trip to Missouri to buy the kind of fireworks Nebraska doesn't allow. They came back to one of the farms with large quantities of M1000s, an extremely powerful firework almost as strong as a stick of dynamite, and a bottle of peppermint schnapps to share. Ew.
You needed an alcohol that was going to make you like also have a minty breath. I get it.
I guess, yeah. The rabbits had been particularly frustrating on the farm that year, so the pair trapped a number of them to have some gruesome fun. While drinking heavily, the men would take a single M1000 and a roll of duct tape and attach the explosive to a rabbit's back, then light the fuse, and then let the animal go.
I don't like these people at all.
This is so evil. The bunnies would run off into the distance, and the farmers would laugh with delight when they were blown into bits. One bunny got its final revenge, however. Instead of running for the hills after the fuse was lit, it ran straight for the pride and joy of one of the farmers, a brand new pickup truck.
I like where this is going.
The terrified animal cowered under the truck until the fuse ran out, taking the bunny's life and also destroying the farmer's cherished new vehicle into a spectacular fireball. Damn, it's not really an urban legend. That's more like a fucked up story, because I feel like that is sadly so plausible.
But I am actually very happy that that bunny got its revenge, because don't do that. That's sociopathic behavior.
That's so
also,
weird.
if any, those men should have been put on a watch list.
Right, for real. So now we're going to go to the Hatchet House. The town of Portal, just south of Papillion, was once home to a quaint one-room schoolhouse on one side of a rather rickety wooden bridge. Known originally as Porter School, it would come to be called Hatchet House. The legend has it that the school teacher went crazy one day, decapitating all of the students inside and placing their heads on their desks. She then took all of their hearts to the bridge and threw them one by one into the water.
Okay, why?
She just fucking snapped, apparently. Locals called it Heartbeat Bridge because as you travel across it, the shuddering boards sounded exactly like the beating hearts lurking in the water below. The Portal School is a real building which, because of frequent flooding, was relocated to Papillion, where it serves as a fun field trip destination. Those who believe the legend still venture to the schoolhouse on dark nights to see if they can feel the presence of the mad school teacher and her ill-fated charges.
There's so much to unpack there.
Are you taking all the students on this field trip, or are you taking the ones that are like about to be expelled to this field trip and be like, fuck around and watch what happens? That's a fucked up field trip place. I'm sorry.
This isn't like taking kids to like the Adobe in Red Bluff where they like learn something. This is like, and this is where gruesome murders happened. Here is this house. It's like, okay.
And it's not even just gruesome murders. It's gruesome murders of fellow students.
I just, nope, nope,
what?
nope, so much nope. That school district needs a new superintendent.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. When I read that, I was like, that is so fucked.
Do they still do field trips? Because like, I feel like I don't really hear like a lot of people being like, oh, my kid went on a field trip.
I don't know. Honestly, like I was like, yeah, but then I was like thinking about it. Bug, her last field trip she went on was because of band, not because of like a class. So I don't know. Any teachers or other school age people, let us know. Maybe it's just our school that doesn't really, but I didn't think about that. Our next one is titled How Weeping Water Got Its Name. The tiny town of Weeping Water in Cass County shares its name with a creek that runs through it. The rather poetic name stems from a tale of sadness. A Native American legend tells of a war that broke out between two warring tribes. One had stolen a daughter from the other, and the only answer was to battle both for the life of the girl and for the honor of the tribe. 3 days later, all of the braves from both tribes lay dead. The woman from both tribes cried so many tears that they formed a new body of water, hence the Weeping Waters. Damn, that's sad.
That is sad. There's like a lot of trauma in Nebraska. These stories have not been like, there's no feel good in any of this. You know, sometimes you hear like the story of like, you're like, oh, that's tragic, but like they like came together in the end or something like that, or like a cryptid. Like, no, these are all like super fucked up tragic stories. And I'm like, oh no, Nebraska. Who hurt you? Apparently everyone.
Right. Everyone hurting everybody else. Now, my last three are all Omaha focused. So the first one is called the White House Apartments. And it says, this imposing structure on 10th Street is widely reported to have been a military hospital during a past war and now haunted by those who have died there. The building has no military provenance, but it was used as a retirement home for a while. I mean, it could also have the ghosts from the retirees who died there too. We've done like there was a hospital we did
True.
a long time ago that I remember was like changed into like a senior facility. So that's pretty common.
I'm just trying to think of what war was close to Nebraska. Maybe the
I don't
Civil War, I
know.
guess. That'd be the only one I would really think. Unless it was like they flew people there. But
Yeah, I don't know.
it's kind of in the middle of the country.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Huh. If you're from Nebraska and know what they're talking about, let me know. Thank you. The next one is Omaha's tunnels. There's a lot of tunnels under houses in Omaha, but it is unlikely many, if any, were used for transporting bootleg liquor, which everybody claims. Omaha was an open town during Prohibition, and booze could easily be transported by truck. Some home brewing probably took place in the tunnels, but most predate to Prohibition days and were more likely used as fruit cellars and other legal uses. I mean, what about like gambling and stuff?
That's true. That's
You
not
know?
so legal. I do love that they're like trying to make it be a prohibition. They're like, this is the story. Everyone get it straight. And then there's just like that one, I can just see it's like one curmudgeon is like, no, it's not how that worked. No, thank you.
Actually. It's that fucking meme. All right. Yeah. And now our last one that is on the list is the murder at Mystery Manor. So Mystery Manor, one of the city's most popular Halloween attractions, aka Omaha again, like I said, likes to tell a story of a brutal murder that took place in the building in 1929. The owner, William Hall, it is said, took a hatchet to his wife. It is said that the story is a marvelous marketing device, but nothing else. In 1929, the house was actually occupied by someone named Lillian Baum, who sold terrier pups. Oh, okay. So you got this lady who's just a wholesome breeder, and you're being like, nope, axe murder. Okay.
Sketch.
Omaha, I see you. I see you.
They just bored out there. They try to make nothing out of something or something out of nothing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. I know. And it's been a long time since we've done a lot of debunking. So that's why I also included those, because I was like, ooh, this kind of has the old school vibe a little bit. I like that. So yeah. Oh my God, Nebraska. Are you okay out there? Like,
Concerned.
a lot of those were very traumatic. I love how much detail your guys' urban legends have. If you're from Nebraska or familiar, I'd love to know what your favorite urban legend is. And if we did not read it, please educate us and tell us, because I love finding out new ones, because of course there's so many. But with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap things up for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have a state request, make sure to comment on any social media, or if you're listening on Spotify, comment there. And again, subscribe to our YouTube channel and all of our socials. And with that, we'll go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Toodles.
3 spooked girls. 3 spooked girls.
Summer heat got you melting? Time to feel joyfully chill with My Mochi ice cream. My Mochi is little scoops of cool, creamy ice cream wrapped in soft, chewy dough. It comes in tons of amazing flavors like strawberry, mango, and cookies and cream. Gluten-free and just 70 calories apiece, My Mochi's the perfect snack for pool days, sunsets, and just soaking up the backyard vibes. When the heat's on, grab a purple box of My Mochi ice cream and treat yourself to a moment of joy.